Brace yourselves. It's gonna smash us into the hull.
Brutal government and mega corporation in space, cults and cosmic horror, undead monsters. What do all those have to do with alternate history? Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel Alternate Aditya, where we discuss alternate history concepts and stories in various media. I'm your host, Adit. Instead of discussing the works that are clearly alternate history, like The Man in the High Castle, or anything related to the JFK thingy, I want to focus more on the obscure ones. Those that aren't exactly apparent to be alternate history works until you dig deeper. In this video, we'll be taking a look at why Heart hates this game. Dead Space is a survival horror video game series that started in 2008, with its main trilogy, spin-offs, and remake. For the main game itself, you are part of a rescue mission sent to search the planet Cracker massive mining starship USG Ishimura that has gone silent. Not knowing the eldritch horror in the form of the enigmatic markers that had turned the ship's crew and the nearby colony's inhabitants into hideous Necromorph zombies, creatures, and whatever else.
Our homecoming.
Spoiler alert, one of the markers was also found back on Earth and caused the key to extinction that wiped out the dinosaur. This very fact was hidden by the dictatorship Wood government and banned to the warped philosophy of the Unitology cult religion to further their goal. The main setting is set in the 25th century, where mankind has used up Earth's natural resources and expanded its empire to the stars. Driven not by wide-eyed optimistic hope for the future, but an unquenchable thirst for more resource exploitation. The USG Ishimura, owned by the Concordance Extraction Corporation, is the most profound example of this mindset. A massive mining starship that can harvest mineral-rich asteroids and even planets, pulling them into the processors inside using gravity tethers, thus destroying the said celestial object, hence the nickname of its class, Planet Crackers. While this video can discuss the dark pessimistic future setting of the Dead Space series, it will divert the focus of our channel. Like the Earth Gulf and the Sovereign Colonies after era. What is it before? Earth Gulf had a sequel, I remember. We are hungry for the essential, and that is alternate history. For that, we have to go back in time before all the cosmic mess in 87, all the way to the equally chaotic 21st century plagued by the global warming epidemic. In one of the earliest entries in the Dead Space universe history, there is something known as the Bering Sea conflict that occurred in 2045 to 2050. This historical event is seemingly quite normal, suiting the whole theme of the resource depletion akin to that of the Fallout series Resource War. But trouble brews in the details. While many points are sketchy, the main cause of the conflict was revealed to be the illegal entry of an American freighter in the Kara Sea, the usually freezing northern waters of Russia. It sparked the Kara Sea hostage crisis, and the outcome of the subsequent Second Battle of the Bering Sea is left unclear, including what happened in the First Battle of the Bering Sea. In short, the Bering Sea conflict was a quarrel between the Americans and the Russians. But the records don't show the country as Russia, but as USSR, the Soviet Union. Of course, this doesn't make sense since the Soviet Union collapsed back in 1991, replaced by the Russian Federation and the Commonwealth of Independent States. Oh, an alternate history, ladies and gentlemen. You might say, oh, they just rebuilt the Soviet Union. Perhaps. And looking at the tumultuous 21st century of the Dead Space universe, it is likely that the Russian people opt out their democracy, opt out their oligarchy, and also opt out their strongman state systems to return to the good old communism. But there is no other details to back this theory. There are simply no other entries detailing the USSR reformation after their historical collapse year. Furthermore, the Soviet forces involved in the Bering Sea conflict were called the Red Banner Northern Fleet and the Red Banner Pacific Fleet, matching the factual Soviet Navy units all the way to our timeline's collapse, which saw their name change of removing the Red Banner elements. Even their flag in the Bering Sea conflict looks the same as the one we all know. Thus, we can all say that in Soviet Russia, resources it's you. For fun, let's imagine that the point of divergence for this alternate history scenario started in the 1970s with an earlier death of Leonid Brezhnev and replaced by Alexei Kosygin, who was not shy to reform the system as the leader of the Soviet Union. His reforms will be similar to the glasnost for economic improvements, but it happened during the oil boom period instead of the subsequent malaise. Not much of the government will be reformed, unless the Soviet Union wanted to crash and burn like in our timeline. Thus, the USSR as we know it can at least survive and even thrive well in the 21st century, where it will be one of the big nations causing the global climate change disaster. What other alternate history stuff you can find in the Dead Space series? Most likely I missed many clues, so tell us in the comment section.